Uncertain as the quarterback. He admitted after his darkness retreat that he envisions himself both retiring and returning to play. That's going to be tough to do both. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst talked to reporters yesterday about his communication with Rodgers. Take a listen.
Just so you guys know, we haven't really had those conversations yet, so not a lot to report until we have those conversations. Change some texts and things like that, but we haven't had a chance to speak yet. Our feelings haven't changed about Aaron, but we need to have some of those conversations about our team, where it's going, where he's at, before we go forward.
Gutekunst also says Green Bay, they're excited about their backup Jordan Love. Shannon, how does this play out? What happens next?
Skip, all Green Bay had to do, they could have been in a much better position. All they had to do was move Aaron Rodgers last year.
I agree.
They could have had the, look what Seattle did. You could have had the number 5 and 15 picks. Mm-hmm. And now you got Jordan Love, and you got number 5 and 15 in this year's draft.
Yep.
Got your nice little squad going. If I'm Brian Gutekunst, I told you last week, Skip, I'm going to treat him like a mushroom. I'm going to put him in a cool, damp area, dark, and I'm going to leave him.
Well, he's been in the dark.
I'm going to leave
like
him.
5
Skip,
days.
I am moving on with my team.
Yep.
What Aaron Rodgers does not impact me.
No.
I'm moving on. I'm entertaining. Okay, Jets, what you got? Anybody else that wants to have a crack at Aaron Rodgers, bring me your best offer, and let's see if we can make a deal. Let's make a deal.
Okay.
I am moving on. I'm done allowing Aaron Rodgers to hold my franchise hostage. He's been dangling Green Bay out the windows like Big Red did in the 5 Heartbeats. I'm done with it, Skip. I'm done with it.
Yep.
I'm done with this. I can see myself retiring. I can see myself playing. You can do any of those things you want, but you won't be on our dime while you think of contemplating. Mm-hmm. That's where I am with Aaron Rodgers if I'm the Green Bay Packers and Brian Gutekunst. Because you see what Skip is every year. We talk about Aaron Rodgers, but I ain't going to tell y'all about what happened against that last game against Detroit. He laid an egg. Then the year before, he did it again against Jimmy G. And the year before that, he did it against Tom Brady. We talking about, is he going to retire, Shannon? Is he going to retire? Is he going to play? I don't care. The last 3 games that he had at Lambeau Field, he laid an egg in January.
He did. It's hard to do it in January because it's cold.
It's cold. Yep. And it wasn't even Easter.
Okay, so the point of no return was a year ago. And what happened? Not only did they not trade him, what did they do?
They paid him.
They paid him like crazy. They paid him the top salary in all of pro football. They paid him $60 million a year, and they're still on the hook for it.
Yep.
Well, the joke's on you, or maybe laid an egg, maybe the yolk is on you, right? Because you basically stuck yourself with him.
Yes, you did.
Because it's such a big ticket. It's hard for another team to say, okay, I've watched him start to decline here. Remember, a year ago, he's coming off back-to-back MVPs. But this year, he wasn't that guy.
What the Packers have done, they signed Aaron Rodgers without a prenup.
They did.
So now he had it mercy. So now, Skip, you stuck with him. And just hope, hey, would you take this? Because he can threaten to retire, veto, and now you stuck because now you got that huge bonus. You got that dead money on your cap.
Yeah, you're basically dead is what you are. And if you play with him this year, if you have him as your quarterback this year, you have so little to spend to support him with the cast, right? Mm-hmm. So you're in a bad way, but it was by your own hand that you're in a bad way. And is he holding them hostage? Yeah, he is, but he's done that the last 3 years. So now it's no guts, no glory. All I hear, all that I'm told is they badly want out from under him. They're sick and tired of him. All of his diva act, all of his finger pointing, blame deflecting, all the things that are Aaron bleeping Rodgers to a fault.
Yeah.
They want out from under. And remember, we had Aaron Jones on at the Super Bowl, and he just gushed about the backup quarterback, Jordan Love. And Jordan Love, by all accounts, everything that I hear, that they love him. They love his temperament. They love his personality. They love his leadership skills. They love what he has shown them in mini camps because that's when he gets to rise and shine.
He came up with some little mop-up duty against the Eagles, and he looked incredible. But, Skip, here's the thing. Currently, if you spread his cap number, if you release him before June 1st, his cap would be jumped from $31 million to $99 million. So, in other words, Skip, you've heard to say it might be cheaper to keep him.
Yeah. It's undoable.
It might be cheaper to keep him.
Yep. Wasn't that a country western
Yeah, Skip.
song?
At the end of the day, Skip, he really does hold all the cards.
Cheaper to keep her.
But in this case, him.
Yep.
Skip, he really does hold all the cards.
Right. So he went to darkness retreat.
Man, that's
what do you think? What revelation did he have?
Skip,
I'm not walking away from $60 million
exactly.
this year, right?
Skip, the man could have went to his basement and cut the lights off, and he could have saved it. He could have saved it for whatever they charged him to come there and feed him syrup, water, and cayenne. You know, everybody do these cleanses. Shannon, I'm doing a cleanse with some cayenne pepper, some syrup, and water.
I don't think it was a cleanse.
Well,
I think you ate like a king, but you just had the lights turned on.
Or I could have starved him in my basement, and he just started hallucinating. Because that's one of the side effects of hunger. You start to hallucinate. He could have paid me that money. I'd have locked him in my guest house, cut the lights off, and boom, there you had it.
Okay, I got it. I'm going to say it one last time because I am still stuck with Rain Dakota Prescott. And
you take Aaron?
I would take Aaron. I would trade in a heartbeat, straight up, Dak Prescott for Aaron
So
Rodgers.
you want problems after all?
Okay, at least I could change the narrative. At least I could change the scenery. At least I could start fresh. Would I take Aaron Rodgers over Dak for 2 years and just say, let's hope he'd have a rebirth, a late career rebirth in Dallas, Texas. He's tormented us every time he's played against us.
Yeah.
Maybe for us, he could torment somebody else. Okay? I'm just done with Dak. I'm done with having to listen to Stephen Jones. You saw the quotes the other day?
Yeah, you're going to extend it.
I believe we could win it all with Dak. And then he goes into, he's got great leadership skills and nobody works harder. And I know he's lost some big playoff games, but, well, there's no but to it. That's what he has done. Okay, what am I supposed to do with that? It's like, you think you could win it all, but he's lost some big playoff games. Well, it's oxymoronic. You don't tell, because I'm not a moron. You can't keep selling ice to this Eskimo, right? Because that's what Jerry does best,
Of
right?
course.
Okay, because it's been a long, cold winter for me with lots of ice.
Skip Bayless has gotten so desperate, America, that he's willing to accept a finger-pointing, blame-deflecting,
Diva.
underachieving diva.
Yeah. I don't even know if he underachieves. He just...
With 4 MVPs with 1 Super Bowl?
Okay, yeah, but in the postseason,
Yeah.
for sure. And I keep telling you, since that long ago, far away run to the Super Bowl.
That gets you to the playoffs.
Okay, well, Aaron should... back-to-back, he got you the #1 seed.
Yeah, and what did he do for it?
Stunk. He stunk it up at home.
Exactly.
At home, 3 straight times. And the Detroit game was the equivalent of a playoff
Yes.
game. And he stunk in that one. Okay, he comes up real small in the postseason. But a long time ago, he went on the road and he won at Philadelphia and he won at Atlanta and where's the other one? Oh, Chicago. He won at Chicago to get to a game in Dallas against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he did that. He beat them, and he was the MVP.
He did that.
And Mike McCarthy was his play caller. Now Mike's going to be calling plays, so I thought, well, if you're going to start calling plays again, you might as well call him for the guy you used to call him for in Green Bay.
But I thought that guy was sick of you.
Problems.
I thought the guy was sick of you calling plays for him in Green Bay.
Well, okay. All right, but let's just try it again. Let's see if we can run it back. It worked once upon a time. I'm just saying, I'm desperate. Dak makes a ton of money. Aaron makes a ton of money. So you just sort of trade problems.
Dak don't make that much as Aaron.
No, but again, it would fit under the cap.
Cap-wise, yeah.
You could exchange those two and just say, okay, we'll take your problem and
You
try
do
it.
realize that Aaron Rodgers would overshadow Jerry. He would get more, and then Jerry.
That's an interesting point. Would he?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
How badly does Jerry want to win? How much pride could he swallow? Because we all know Jerry wants to do it through the draft. I picked Dak Prescott in the 4th round, right?
Skip, you don't think Mr. Kraft has pride? Of course he does.
Okay.
But he sat right back there, swallowed his pride, and won 6 Super Bowls.
He did.
Jerry Jones let his pride get the best of him, and when he should have won 6, he ended up winning 3.
He did.
And now look at him.
Yep. And he was pretty lucky to win the 3rd one, I would have to say.
Exactly.
Yep. It took a minor miracle, but they pulled it off.
I guarantee they'd have won more if they'd had kept Jimmy.
Well, you would think so, unless you tell me Jimmy was just going to burn out. I mean, like he was so burned out on Jerry, just having to live and deal with Jerry. But still, to your point, in the best of all worlds, they should have won 5.
Yeah, there was guys who were in their prime. Emmett was 26, Troy was 27, Michael was 28.
Agreed.
They were in the absolute prime.
Yep. No, I got you, but it's all about pride. And so Jerry's not going to give up on Dak because he paid Dak and he sort of sunk his future in Dak Prescott. Right. Well, I don't want to. He'd have to admit I made a mistake, right?
Well, I mean, Skip, he's made mistakes before, but he's come out on the plus side. Bro, Jerry's worth. What does he think Jerry's worth, Skip? 17, 18 billion now.
Yeah, I'm sure in that ballpark.
I'm sure he's
his team is the most valuable in the whole world.
So he's made some mistakes along the way. He's overcome it.
Yeah.
So you made a mistake. Okay, I don't think Dak was a mistake, but I don't know if Dak can take you. Everything has to be perfect around it.
But you do think, in the end, that's a mistake. If that's what it requires, because you don't think Dak can carry you to a Super Bowl.
I don't think you need a number of other pieces around. Everything has to be perfect.
Okay.
And sometimes, Skip, it's not going to be perfect. The quarterback needs to be perfect as opposed to having a perfect setting around him.
Okay, last quick point. I'm assuming they're going to have the guts to trade Aaron Rodgers to somebody because there are going to be suitors out there. But I don't think the suitors are going to offer near what Green Bay thinks because they're basically going to say, I'll give you some mid-round, I'll give you a third-round pick because I got to take on your salary.
You're not going to get what the Broncos gave to Russell Wilson.
Heck no.
Especially after they saw how it turned out.
Saw what had happened, right?
That's what's Russell ruined it for Green Bay. He did.
So many question marks surrounding what that offense is going to look like next season, guys. But their defense, that looks pretty strong, even with the free agents they have coming up. All right, back to the association. Kyrie and Luka, gentlemen, is this experiment already a failure? Skip and Shannon debate coming up right after this break.